Hi guys, Nicole here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a little bit of a different topic than you guys are used to on my channel. I'm going to be talking about homeschooling, and also I have an Usborne box of books that I need to open up and show you guys. I thought that would be kind of fun. So I'm just going to get right into it. So I have right now a 5-year-old boy and a 2-year-old boy, and they're both about to have a birthday. So my 2-year-old will turn 3 in July, and then my 5-year-old will be 6 in September. And so what that means is that we're approaching his kindergarten year. If he was going to public school, he would just make that cutoff where he would have to hold back, and he'd kind of be the oldest kid in his class, which is great. I think that's actually the best idea if you have a little boy. Just give him a little bit of extra time to get into the academics. And with that said, though, we're not going to be doing anything super intensive for kindergarten. We kind of like to take a more Charlotte Mason approach. We are big fans of the Wild and Free community that's kind of growing, if you haven't heard of that. I know it sounds pretty scary that it's wild and free, but it's more just about like cherishing childhood and letting kids learn through play and just being outdoors. So just with all that in mind, like we're not jumping into any intense curriculum for kindergarten. Even with first grade, we'll probably just be adding more books about history, but we're really just going to ease into school. I would say our big goals for this past school year have been just reading a lot and, learning some phonics. And my 5-year-old actually is reading at this point. And that's like a big goal for us because we had, a lot of road bumps through the year just personally. That made our homeschool year look not quite as perfect as I had hoped for. So that's a really big accomplishment that I think we both had. And then I guess as far as reading, I should tell you, we used, our phonics was Explode the Code. So he's done levels 1 and 1.5, and now he's just starting on 2. And just through those books alone, just the 1 and 1.5, he's able to read the like very basic reader levels, like the easy readers. So he's also reading, so he can fluently do like a box set like this. This is from The Good and the Beautiful. This is their box A. And so once he could actually do these like the first day that I got them, which I was really surprised about. And he really likes them. They're very, very simple, but the art's cute. And I ordered him box B, and he can actually do those too. So I'm probably going to move on to C soon, but I also got some Usborne books, so I'm not sure if I'll move on to C right away or just try to use some of these. So yeah, language arts for, I guess, what I would say late preschool / early kindergarten. We've enjoyed Explode the Code because it's very straightforward. It's just made a lot of sense to him, I think. And at first he was pretty much fighting it, so I actually took some steps back and we just did it every now and then for fun, and then I started doing it more on a daily basis, but really just like not pressuring him because he's pretty sensitive to that, and it's worked out fine. Also just a lot of reading aside from that, though, has definitely helped his reading. So Explode the Code, we're doing Explode the Code again this coming year, and then we've used The Good and the Beautiful beginner books, and I don't know, I'll probably continue to do them throughout this year, but it's not like a main priority for us. We have so many other books. He finished the master books, math, this past year for preschool. Even though this is technically level 1, which I don't remember if that's the earliest. This says recommended for grade 1, suitable for ages 5 to 7. The math concepts don't get very complicated, but I mean, they do get into fractions in this book. Addition, subtraction, tally marks, and reading a clock, I would say, are the biggest things that you talk about in this book. We like this book to a point. Master Books is a Charlotte Mason based company, and so the math tries to incorporate story into the math lessons, but my son really wasn't a fan of that, so we ended up skipping a lot of the story. He has a pretty short attention span, so I was more concerned about just getting to the math concepts than reading the story that went along with it. And luckily he's really good with numbers, and he would pick up things like the first time I would introduce them. So this has not been a struggle for us, but we're not going to continue with master books. We're actually going to start with Math UC. And if you're new to homeschooling, it's Math U SEE. I'll spell it up here for you. And I'll link everything below just to so you guys can have a better idea of where I'm getting all this. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm a pretty eclectic homeschooler in that I don't have like a box set that I buy and I just use one company's stuff. I really like to look around, try different things, and figure out what works best for my kids. And since we're just starting out, I'm really trying a lot of different things because I've never homeschooled before. So this is gonna seem maybe a little crazy and maybe overwhelming if you're just starting out, so I apologize for that, but just don't feel like you have to do one thing and stick with it forever. Try a lot of different stuff, and there's so much good material out there, it's really hard to choose. So finish this for preschool, not doing it again for kindergarten. Math UC is on the way, and I'm excited for that because it's really much more straightforward math approach. We won't start Math UC until the fall. We do consider ourselves year-round homeschoolers though, but that's because we don't do that much. Like our homeschool day is not long or intense, so it's easy to keep up with it. But we're gonna use the summer to actually finish up some of our Kumon books. Now Charlotte Mason wouldn't be like a huge fan of worksheets, especially for a 5-year-old boy. So I don't make these I try to make these not like a chore. He actually really enjoys doing worksheets. That's why I got into purchasing these. He likes an activity book. He likes to sit down and think about numbers. And so I just have these on days where it's like he clearly needs something to do. And I can just sit him at the table and be like, all right, work on this worksheet. And he just enjoys it. So it's not technically like a Charlotte Mason philosophy to be giving 5-year-old boys worksheets to work on, or really any table work. But these are just kind of for fun, and they'll enhance like his math. And so the one that has actually been really useful has been this telling time one. So the Master Books Math talked about reading the clock, but this is just pretty repetitive and very straightforward, again, which I'm gonna like with my oldest. He's gonna need that. My youngest actually seems to have a really good attention span, and he really likes to sit down for stories. So I'm probably gonna have to figure out something different for him, but for now, we really like the Kumon workbooks. They're cheap, and you can get them at Target or Amazon for like a few dollars. So he's just like the mazes and the number games. I just think doing those things has really helped his handwriting and just pencil control. So that's Kumon. Let me think. So our spine for the upcoming year, I think we are going to go with exploring nature with children, I think. And this might change, and when we get closer to the fall, I'll do another video like this one and let you know what I've actually written down on paper to work on. We've actually done exploring nature with children loosely, but I really think that it has so much good stuff that I want to make it more of a priority for our next school year. It's just great that it incorporates nature study with literature. There's even like recipes in here, poetry, art study, a lot of just like outside novel recommendations. So it's kind of just all encompassing of like all the Charlotte Mason studies that you would want to do, and it's nature based, which is great for my kids because being outdoors is just something that helps us all kind of stay calm, and we're just all a little bit happier outside. Not necessarily me, but my boys for sure. They love being outdoors. And so everything we've done with this so far, we've really enjoyed. And every week is a different focus. I just think it's really well done. It's not open and go necessarily because you do have to, you know, most of the things I suggest you kind of have to do yourself. But I haven't had anything too difficult. So I think for our spine, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna be doing like any, you know, there's a lot more intensive homeschool curriculums out there. And I'm just not interested at this age. So we'll reassess next year, but this is our goal for this year. Again, that's exploring nature with children. I don't remember how much that is, but I'll have prices down below too. I don't think it's very expensive. And then in addition to that, does this seem like a lot yet? It feels like a lot to me. Oh, one thing I haven't bought yet. So I ordered Math UC. The thing I haven't bought yet was the Simply Charlotte Mason Enrichment Guide. I think that's what it's called, or Enrichment Studies, or it's basically a book of extracurriculars, and that I think I'm going to get because it'll get me on a better schedule and rhythm for like hymn studies, composer studies, art study, and there's a few other things. If that interests you, I'll link it below, and also check back for my future video where I'm like going through things I'm actually going to use so I can share more about that with you when I get it in the mail. But that just looked really great. I have a lot of friends who use Simply Charlotte Mason as their homeschool curriculum spine, and they really like it. Charlotte Mason's very novel based, so there's a lot of reading that goes on with that curriculum. So we'll consider that down the road. Right now it's just, yeah, I think it would just be really frustrating with my boys to try to have like a novel based curriculum at this point. We need a lot of hands-on. That's why I'm doing the nature study. And then there's also, this is produced by the Homegrown Preschooler. Yeah, the Homegrown Preschooler is the company. The full curriculum is called A Year of Playing Skillfully, but this one is newer. It's a Summer of Playing Skillfully. So we're gonna start this right away because it starts in May. And this is actually more for preschool aged, but my kindergartner he's like all in for this kind of hands-on science-y stuff. So this is just like a lot of sensory activities. I also think so every month you get like a chart like this. So it's not so much a schedule of when you should do things, but just like a collection of ideas that you can do with your kids. And every month she has it kind of laid out like this. So there's a home life, social, emotional section, art and music, math, field trips you can take, science, language and literacy, and then outdoor and gross motor skills. And there's activities for each of those sections. And this has just been really cute. It's definitely younger, but my kids have really loved this. And you might notice, like, I'm not doing a strictly science or history book at this point. We're just, we're going with the basics with language arts and math. And then outside of that, we're just, science, we're learning that out, in nature for now. And history, we're touching on that in some of the books we're reading. But I just feel like there's a lot of their life that they can learn about history, and I just think history is so much more relevant to you as you get older. Like, there's things in history that I hear about now that I'm just like, I wish I knew more about that, and I know I was taught that in school. I didn't care back then, so I don't know. I'm being really careful with history. Oh, and the Simply Charlotte Mason, I think, has Bible work too. But that's another thing I need to figure out, is I would like a better kind of Bible study for their age group. So that's something I'm going to look out for. If you're watching this and you're a homeschooler and you have an idea for preschool, kindergarten age, like a Bible curriculum, that would be really helpful to hear what you're using. We used, what was it called? Playful Pioneers last year, but we got pretty derailed during this school year. So we just kind of fell off the wagon with that, but I really liked that one because it was Little House on the Prairie based. And so we started out reading Farmer Boy, but once we got into like Little House in the Prairie or Little House in the Big Woods, I would say my 5-year-old attention span was just a bit of a struggle. So I think we might incorporate that later on as more of like our history lesson. I don't know, maybe I might actually pick that up maybe this year. I don't know. I have a lot of things. Going on. We'll see. I really, really liked it. I also had a really cute recipe book that is kind of old-fashioned. And if you know me, I refinish antiques, and I'm kind of a sucker for anything that's kind of based on like those pioneer times. So I really love the idea of that curriculum. It wasn't just like happening naturally for us, but I think that might have just been my kids' ages. So I'll link that below because you're like, what are you talking about? It's called The Playful Pioneers, and it's not a preschool curriculum because they have Peaceful Preschooler curriculum, and the Playful Pioneers is like the next level. So it's all Little House on the Prairie based, and I will link that below for you. I was gonna say if I had it handy I could show it to you, but I don't even know where that is right now. And the last thing I'm going to show you, I said I'm not going to do a strict science study, but I do have this Mammals study from The Good and the Beautiful that I really think my kids will like. I'm just probably not going to go through it the way they have it laid out. I think I'll pick and choose from it. And I mean, I thought it'd be fun to kind of like do this and then do a trip to the zoo, even though the zoo's closed right now. Surely one of these days we'll be able to go do our field trips that we like to do. So I have this kind of on hand. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to incorporate it yet, or maybe I'll save it for next year, because I also got the Good and the Beautiful's Mammals for Littles. This came out like right after I bought the other Mammals, which is fine. And this is a lot less intensive, and there's another activity book that comes with this that I don't have in my hands. But I really like the Good and the Beautiful's stuff. It's all just really pretty and well done. Can you even see that? So in this little book, they just like flip the pages around and try to match the animals. See how good of a job I'm doing? But anyway, that was cute. Small mammals, large mammals. I just thought like starting with mammals might be a good kind of science-y subject to incorporate. I don't know. We'll see. I have it. The problem maybe buying things potentially. So that's my huge stack. You can't really see it from there, but I would say that's about what we're doing this coming year. Like I said, I really want to figure out the Bible study, and that's the big thing. I think the Simply Charlotte Mason will be really great for handicrafts and things like that. And I mean, also, aside from that, I mean, they're home with me, living life with me, and we bake a lot. We go grocery shopping, so we're talking about money a lot, and you know, we're outside, we're gardening. They're just learning a lot doing life with me, and so I feel like at that age, like that's about all I really need to worry about. Okay, now I have a big old box I just got in the mail, and I haven't even opened it yet, from Usborne. And Usborne is a book company that has consultants. I've also seen them at like fairs and stuff, but basically like a mom will sell them. And I actually just signed up, so I'm gonna have my consultant link below if you wanna shop. I just signed up as a consultant because they're doing like a $30 sign up to be a consultant. I think it's just in May though. And you get your like website for 6 months, and you get a 25% off discount for being a consultant. So I thought I would do that because I would really like to build up my Usborne book library. They are my kids' favorite books to look at. I love the artwork in them. And I mean, with everything that I'm doing curriculum-wise, I feel like adding in these books to that curriculum, they're just gonna have a really like well-rounded education this coming year. So I'm really excited for this. This book I got for being a host of an Usborne book party. And then the next, I'll probably do a couple more orders with my discount. I'm not like signing up to be a consultant to start another business. I have too many of those. So I'm really just doing it for the discount. So I'm gonna show you just real quickly what I ordered. First, I got these two Lift the Flat books, and these are for a younger age. What is Sleep? And then Why Should I Brush My Teeth? I thought those were cute. I have a few others of these Lift the Flap. I think like Things on the Farm and Things in the Jungle, or I want to say. And so these just have a bunch of flaps through them, and they're just really cute. My kids really, really love these books. I think their favorite, most read book is What is Poop? And we already have that one, so I didn't order it, and I think it's over there, but all the flaps are a little scrunched up, but they're pretty sturdy flaps. I mean, it's taken a long time for it to get pretty wrecked. The other one is Peek Inside the Garden. I'm gonna put these closer to you. Just do a little bit of flip through for you. Now this one I'm really excited about because I'm actually a registered dietitian, and this book is called What Happens When You Eat. And I'm excited about it because food science was actually my absolute favorite class in college, and just kind of understanding like how proteins and carbohydrates and fats digest differently in your body, and that just like was super interesting to me. So I'm excited about this one. It's got a lot of flaps too. The age for this one, on here. I think my kids are a little young for it, but it's, I mean, I'll just read it with them, and that's fine. That's how I expected it to be anyway. anyway, it just looks like really informative and fun. Oh, I forgot about this one though. I don't know. This is going to be a tough competition. This one's called First Book About the Orchestra, because I was also like a super band nerd in high school. I was a drum major, okay? I was very serious about band, and I was good at it. Come on. So this one's really cute because it's a sound one. Nice. And there's buttons throughout that they can kind of hear different instruments. So there's another button here. So I thought it'd be a nice kind of introduction to music and orchestra, and I'm excited about that one. My kids will love that one. Here's another one, because my kids are pretty interested in space, but we don't have a lot of books around about this, so this is one I definitely wanted to get. It's another look inside book, so just another one with a bunch of flaps. And I'm having a hard time turning it. Oh, it like opens. So, I mean, you see what I mean about just like how awesome the art is and all the books. It's really interesting. So I'm excited about that one too. Now some of these are less educational. This one is actually one I just think my 2-year-old will love. So it's actually plastic shut, so I can't show you, but it's called All Better. And it comes with this Band-Aid that you can take off, and you'll put it on like the injuries of the animals in the book. And it's just like a reusable sticker basically. So I know my 2-year-old will really like that one. Sticking on the educational basis, this one's How Things Grow. Now this one is not a hard page. All of the ones so far have been hard pages. This is a paper page, but still really good art. I'll just put this one up on a higher shelf than the other ones. This is just teaching about gardening, which I really need because I'm a horrible gardener. Yeah, thought that was cute. And I tried to get a few nature books that would enhance our nature study curriculum. This is another one I like just because I'm a dietitian and a food nerd, and we bake a lot, so I thought this would be kind of handy. So it's the Lift the Flaps Sizes and Measuring. This one has the board pages, so they're not papery, and just a ton more flaps. And I think there's a more advanced version of the Sizes and Measuring. Everything I'm getting today is for definitely a younger child, but Usborne goes up to high school age. And so it'll have pretty much the same topics, but just in different versions so that they're more suitable for like the proper age of the child. So this is just like talking a lot about comparing sizes. So empty and full, more and less. Okay. Did you see that all your books came in? You want to look at these? No. Good. This one has a Band-Aid. Pretty cool, huh? And this one has buttons about the orchestra.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna
Wait, you can't do it in here. You gotta go to any other room because it's so noisy. Because I already pressed it. It's pretty loud. Okay, we're almost there. 2 more books, I think. This one is Lift the Flap Seasons and Weather. So just another one to kind of enhance our nature study. Now the Good and the Beautiful has a weather science unit that looks really good. So that might be another science one. Maybe we won't do it this year, but maybe next year. I think weather is just a really interesting science thing to learn about. You guys can see. Yeah, I think so too. He thinks his brother will like the music book, which is what I thought. Okay, and last, this is like a silly book. This is not an educational book. But I got this because I thought that maybe my 5-year-old could read most of this. I think. That's interesting. So it's just kind of one of those that has like some visual interest. So this page actually turns. I mean, isn't that kind of cool? It's just like interesting ways to get a kid interested in a book rather than just like a typical picture book would be.
Good. Cover plastic band-aid.
And that is everything for this box. I'm gonna have probably 2 more big orders of Usborne books this summer while I have my consultant status. And again, I will put that link below if you'd like to order an Usborne book, or if you would like to sign up. Also, I think you could sign up to be on my team. And like I said, I think just in May, you can sign up to be a consultant for $30. You get 25% off your books. There's no minimum or anything. I think at the end of the 6 months, if you want to continue being a consultant, it's $8 a month to maintain like your website that people can order through. And I think if you don't have that website, then you don't get to be a consultant anymore. So I think that turns into the minimum that is required to be a consultant, but that's after the first 6 months. So might be something to consider if you want to build up your Usborne book library like I do. This is probably a third of my wish list, maybe a fourth. So I have like a lot of books that I want. And I'm really excited to have this though, because all the Usborne books we have are very well loved and they have been read many, many times. Okay, I think that is it for this video. I know I've thrown a lot at you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any tips for me about some of the homeschool curriculum that I'm choosing, or any questions for me about Usborne or about homeschooling, I am happy to help you out with that. I appreciate you so much if you have watched this whole video and stuck through it with me, because I know this was a lot of information. I have no idea how long this video is, so I'm sorry if it's been forever, but thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Come back soon, guys. Please subscribe. I hope to see you back here. Bye.